Blair?
Here.
Mr. Gillis?
Here.
Mr. Martin?
Here.
Mrs. Meldrum?
Here.
Mr. Scarbeck?
Here.
Mayor Stoneburner?
Here.
All present.
Take a moment of silent prayer, and at this time, if you could just keep in your thoughts the people that are struggling through this difficult time that we're having in our country. And will everyone please stand for the pledge? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This evening, when we approve our agenda, I would like to have a motion to include item 11H, please.
I make a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of item 11H.
Support.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? All right, we have an agenda with an addition. This evening, we have Heather Rollins here for us for our presentation. There's one tonight. And Heather is from 2.2 for the 22. Heather?
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to join you this evening. My name is Heather Rollins. I'm a lifetime resident of Algonac. I'm a military spouse. I'm a mother and a chairperson for the 2.2 for the 22. I would like to start by saying thank you to all of you for your dedication to our community. It truly is the best place to live. I'm here to introduce a nonprofit organization, 501c3, that I am very proud to be a part of. The 2.2 for the 22 was created by a man named First Sergeant Michael Webb. He is a 21-year veteran. There we go. Okay. He is a 21-year veteran and still serving in the Army. He began his career at the age of 17, within a few short years, the World Trade Center was attacked. His unit, the 3rd Infantry Division, was immediately deployed to Iraq with orders to secure Baghdad. His company was a spearhead to retake that airport. His years in the military has shown him firsthand how the unseen scars can tear anyone apart. This mission was placed on his heart after he lost many of his brothers to suicide. Michael spent many days and nights praying about this vision until one day he shared his story with 2 of his battle buddies, Master Sergeant Douglas Rollins and Captain Kyle Love. These men served together in multiple Afghanistan deployments in 2011 and 15. They understood the value of having each other during that time, but especially after the deployments were over. These 3 men, along with their wives, worked together to make Michael's vision a reality. With the values that the good Lord placed on his heart, I proudly introduce to you 2.2 for the 22. Despite the countless classes, PowerPoints, Facebook posts, 22 of our nation's brightest and bravest are lost to suicide every day. The time for action is now. The mission statement for the 2.2 exists to bring hope and resources to those who are struggling to find healing for the unseen wounds. Just as one individual cannot flip a tractor tire for 2.2 miles by his or herself, winning the war at home takes teamwork and community. With each tire flipped, we hope to send a message to those who are suffering in silence. You are not alone. You are loved. There is help and there is hope. The 6 C's of hope starts with Christ. In word and in action, the 2.2 shares the love, hope, and compassion of Jesus Christ. Community. Isolation kills. The 2.2 brings friends and families together to build relationships and to strengthen social bonds that are essential to this healing process. Communication. The stigma of suicide is a barrier to our efforts to combat suicide. The 2.2 provides a safe environment for individuals to discuss the issues that exacerbate their unseen wounds. Cooperation. It takes a village. No single entity or organization is capable of winning this war by themselves. The 2.2 exists to bring organizations and resources together in the spirit of cooperation as we work together to overcome the surge of suicide in the military and the veteran communities. Challenge. We are all faced with a series of great opportunities brilliantly disguised as impossible situations. Quote by Chuck Swindoll. The 2.2 provides an opportunity for veterans, service members, and their families to gain confidence as they work together to complete a seemingly impossible challenge. Currency. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. Quote by Winston Churchill. The 2.2 provides monetary resources to veterans and service members in crisis in order to alleviate any financial stressors that often make the war at home more difficult. To show you our initiative against this invisible enemy, please enjoy a video of one of our previous events. Music
Is there a sound?
Yeah, it must be music, but that's okay, we can still go to it. First Sergeant Michael Webb starting the group in prayer. 22 boots representing the soldiers along the track. As you can see, this is a family event. We invite children, wives, strollers, bikes, anything to come along the path to show your support. Whether you actually put your hands on that tire or not, it's important that there's a group effort. This particular event was held in Grand Ledge Armory. They created the track in a circular motion on the actual airfield. So completion of 2.2 miles, and then they came back through that first starting path that you saw where the boots were lined. We are currently working on several events to be held throughout 2020, which I'm extremely excited and proud to include the Algonac Lions, inviting us to join their events during the pickerel tournament and create a public event to raise awareness on suicide. We're going to call this event Lighting the Way to Flip the Script on Suicide, and more details of that will be released as it unfolds. In closing, I would like to share with you why this mission is so important to me. In 2017, I found myself on the phone with the National Suicide Hotline in desperate need of understanding and help. This help was for a 70-year-old Vietnam veteran who I proudly call Dad. In silence, he carried an incredible weight all these years, and the reality of that is PTSD. How could this be? My father's strong, he's funny, he's confident, he's successful, he's intelligent. He's a retired police officer of 20 years. He's living his golden years as a proud husband, father, and grandfather. However, we had no idea the scars he had inside. He suffered from nightmares when he closed his eyes, and he attempted to mask these fears, like most do, with alcohol, hoping to just not dream at all. He became fearful of leaving his home, ashamed to admit that he couldn't hear due to the constant ringing he had in his ears. And who knew that the smell of blood was enough to take you back 45 years in an instant? He was tired from fighting a fight that we had no idea he was living. I can't be certain he was suicidal that day, but I can tell you he was struggling terribly. And I wasn't willing to find out. I'm happy to tell you that he has sought help. He is fighting the fight, and his silence is no longer. We are all learning that this battle has no boundaries. It has no age limits. As you may have noticed throughout this presentation, the Bible verse that we chose to represent the 2.2 is Jeremiah 29:11, which states, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Tonight, I am here to ask for your support on this mission, and together we can flip the script on suicide and make sure that everyone knows you're not alone, you are loved, there is help, and there is hope. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Anyone want to ask any questions or comments of Mrs. Rollins?
I just wish her success in moving forward with this and the cooperation of the Lions Club.
Thank you very much.
I know our community is very giving, and I know we will talk it up. We'll make sure the word gets out there so that it can be very successful for you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Very
it.
good cause.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to thank your father and your husband and everybody for their service. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Next is our public comment time. As before, state your name, where you live. You have 5 minutes to speak. And I know, is there anybody that would like to make any comments? No? Okay.
Mayor Stoneburner,
Yes.
as we are using Facebook Live this evening, I did receive one comment from Gail Anthony. She asked that I remind our audience that the community suppers that are usually held at the First Evangelical Community Lutheran Church on Wednesdays at 6 p.m., that those have been canceled for the rest of the month.
Thank you. All right. Seeing no other public comments, city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor Stoneburner. So I have quite a few things this evening. The slow rolling bike rides that we had last year are going to resume for this summer. We have them scheduled for May 28th, June 30th, July 28th, and September 17th. More information to follow shortly. A high water update. Our high water levels and potentially record high water levels are expected to persist for at least the next 6 months. So flood-prone areas are expected to remain vulnerable. Residents are advised to act now to protect their property We do have detailed information about how to fill and install sandbags on the city website. And as you may have heard, the governor is considering some no-wake bills, and we are waiting to see if whether or not she will be signing those and that we will be able to implement those this summer. City of Algonac is looking to hire DPW summer help. This is a great job for someone who loves to work outside, and applications are available on the city website and at City Hall. The pay is $12 per hour, so all those kids out there, please encourage them to apply for a job with DPW. Our Memorial Chair program, spring is upon us. The City of Algonac invites residents to honor friends, family members, and fellow residents with a memorial Adirondack chair for the Riverfront Park. This chair is made in the United States, mostly from post-consumer bottle waste like milk jugs and detergent bottles, and it's built to withstand hot sun, snowy winters, and strong winds, and it requires no painting or waterproofing. A $350 donation includes a memorial message plaque. And of course, I have an update on COVID-19. Algonac is participating along with all the other St. Clair County communities in twice daily updates from St. Clair County Emergency Management and the St. Clair County Health Department. As of today, there are only 2 positive cases in St. Clair County. It is a husband and wife, and they are quarantined at their home. The number for the state of Michigan so far today is 65 positive cases. The health department does not want sick persons going to emergency. Everyone, if you feel that you are exhibiting symptoms, call your doctor first for instruction. There is currently no treatment for COVID-19 except for comfort medications like Tylenol, cough syrup, cold and flu medicines, rest, and fluids. And the vast majority of people will be fine as the illness runs its course. The City of Algonac city offices are closed to the public but open for business via phone, Dropbox, and online business, and we will continue to upgrade our community members via Facebook and our website. Thank you, Mayor Stoneburner.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask you a couple questions, Denise. As far as the COVID, what extra protection are emergency responders taking? You know, if they have to make a call, is there any, you know, from what I understand, they're now asked on the phone questions?
Dispatch is asking the patient if they are experiencing symptoms, cough, high fever, and respiratory issues, difficulty in breathing, and if the answer to those is yes, the first responders are notified of that. And our first responders have the appropriate PPE, personal protection equipment.
Okay. And I know we have the little window in our city hall where people can still bring in their...
Actually, we decided to close City Hall completely. So you can put everything in the Dropbox. We're checking everything regularly in the Dropbox. You can pay online. You can call. We are still doing business by appointment only.
Okay. The summer help, have to be 18?
Yes, you have to be 18.
Driver's license?
Yes.
And how many hours a week?
It'll be 40 hours a week.
40 hours a week. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? All right. Next is our consent agenda. Our consent agenda consists of our regular city council meeting minutes from March 3rd, our departmental reports, blight enforcement, building, DPW, finance, fire department, library, water department, and our communications and notices, which consists of boards and commission roster. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, we've approved our consent agenda. We have no unfinished business, so we'll get into our new business. And we'll start off with a request, a statement to approve payment to Clay Township for 2020 Music in the Park. May I have a motion, please?
I make a motion, we approve the payment of $1,200 to Clay Township, whose address is 4710 Point Trumbull, Algonac, Michigan, 48001 for the 2020 Music in the Park. Support.
Each year, the city of Algonac and Clay Township combine for Music in the Park, and the person that handles the entertainment and hires them and pays for them works in Clay Township, so the money from Algonac goes there, so that program can be run out of their offices. Are there any, yes?
Does Cindy Babbitt still get the $1,200?
Yes, she still organizes it.
Yeah, but are we paying Clay, or are we paying Cindy?
We're paying Clay. It goes to Clay in the line item for just Music in the Park. It's kind of like Clay pays us to handle things at the library. We're doing that with Music in the Park, and they handle that.
Okay.
It's not for Cindy herself, no.
Okay, it has changed.
Any other comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
Mr. Gillis?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mrs. Meldrum?
Helen, we lost you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Okay.
I'm a yes.
Okay. Mr. Scarback?
Yes.
Mayor Stoneburner?
Yes.
Mr. Bembas?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, we're being asked to approve pool jet head replacements. May I have a motion, please?
I make a motion to approve the payment for pool jet head replacements to Mechanical Fabricators Incorporated, whose address is 770 DeGursey Avenue, Marine City, Michigan, 48039, in the amount of $2,171.
Support.
Discussion?
I got a question. There's a huge price difference between these two. Is there a particular reason why? Do we know if there's inferior parts or what have you? But that's quite a big price difference. You think it'd be a little closer? Do we know why?
Could be that Superior Industrial Furnace is very busy right now.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Gillis?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mrs. Meldrum?
Yes.
Mr. Scarback?
Yes.
Mayor Stoneburner?
Yes.
Mr. Bembas?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, we're being asked to consider parking lot repairs at the City Hall. It's sinking at the south end of the building. May I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve payment for City Hall parking lot repairs to CR Concrete LLC in the amount of $27,200.
Support.
Discussion?
Yes, for our citizens watching out there, we had 3 bids come in. CR Concrete was at $27,200. Delta Industrial was $28,345, and Ultimate Contracting was $30,950. We chose to go with CR Concrete LLC at $27,200, which was the lowest bidder.
Any other comments or questions?
Denise, is this for just the back parking lot behind this building or the other parking lot, city parking lot next to this one?
It's the sitting parking lot next to the post office where the fire trucks pull in and out and the police cars are.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mrs. Meldrum?
Yes.
Mr. Scarback?
Yes.
Mayor Stoneburner?
Yes.
Mr. Bembas?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
Mr. Gillis?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, we're being asked to consider emergency splash guard installation. May I have a motion, please?
I make a motion, we approve the payment for emergency splash guard installation at 444 Lathrop to Mechanical Fabricators Incorporated, whose address is 770 DeGursey Avenue, Marine City, 48039, in the amount of $4,370.
Support.
I'd like to start the discussion. After several attempts to contact the owner with no response really, or no action taken, we need to protect it according to the ordinance that we passed to protect people's waters. And this is a vacant lot on the point, and it's affecting the road and the residents nearby.
Again, I'm gonna piggyback with the mayor saying this is not a cost accrued to the city. I believe this is a cost accrued to the owner of that piece of property. So because we're approving this, does not mean we're approving this for any citizen. We are approving this to protect the nearby citizens' homes, and this will be billed to the person that owns that property. Is that correct?
That's correct, and if they fail to pay, it will be, we will have it come back to us and being asked to put it on their tax roll.
Thanks for the clarification.
Any other comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Meldrum?
yes,
Mr. Scarbuck?
Yes.
Mayor Stoneburner?
Yes.
Mr. Bembas?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
Mr. Gillis?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next, we're being asked to approve a grant application to North Channel Shoreline Acquisition. May I have a motion, please?
I make the motion to approve a letter of support for the North Channel Shoreline Acquisition Grant Application number TF20-0073 and direct the mayor to sign the letter on behalf of the city.
I'll support that.
As you recall, Commissioner Graytop talked to us about the county acquiring property and for the wonderful park that we're looking forward to. And it will include a swimming beach, a kayak launch, picnic pavilions, playground, restroom, parking, and bridge to bay trailhead. And this is one of the first steps that we take, or they take, and need to get our support for that. Any other questions or comments?
just,
Clarification.
is it possible that we could actually, when it's done, see a copy of the application? The filled out application?
Mrs. Gerstenberg?
Mayor Stoneburner, Councilwoman Meldrum, the county will be doing the application on behalf of the communities, but absolutely, that would be available to you for your viewing.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
I just want to say that the grant application is to acquire 5 parcels of land. It's just not a grant application fund, it's for 5 parcels to be used for that county park.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
I,
Those opposed? Okay, we will have a letter out to the county. Next, we're being asked to approve an Elginak Clay Community Foundation grant application. May I have a motion, please?
I make a motion we approve the application to the Elginak to the Elginak Clay Foundation for 4 Nantucket Smoke Stop ashtrays in the amount of $600 and direct the city manager to sign the application on behalf of the city. Support.
This application, each year, the Elginak Clay Foundation, or Community Foundation, asks people and organizations to submit grants. This will be in the park and at, is it at Linesfield also, or at, I know I read it, and it, at Smithfield, or just in the city park?
Mayor Stoneburner, the Elginak Clay Community Foundation requests these grant applications every year. These are for 4 ashtrays for Riverfront Park only.
Okay,
We have had an issue of people using our planters and flower beds for cigarettes, and so we're hoping that this will eliminate that blight and problem in the park.
I like them, they're very nice looking, they look like miniature lighthouses.
About to say the same thing, yes.
yeah.
Show a picture? Yes, I concur with, Councilman Bemis, that I believe they're gonna be a nice addition to the park. It's not like we're just gonna put some nasty looking ash trees in the park. They do have a design to them, and I'm sure if they need to be painted, we have somebody here that's in the audience that could paint them for us if needed.
Well, and it promotes that nautical theme that we want throughout our community, so that's a nice thing. Any other,
Where do you think they'll be positioned so they can get maximum use?
We'd spread the 4 throughout the park next to the planters, which is what they are using now.
any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, submit that application. Next, we're being asked to approve another grant, and this one is to the Community Foundation of St. Clair County. May I have a motion, please?
I make a motion to approve the application to the Community Foundation of St. Clair County for 8 trash receptacles in the amount of $4,000 and direct the city manager to sign the application on behalf of the city.
Support.
This is to replace the wooden trash barrels, and this is where it's in the other parks. It's the Riverfront Park, Skate Park, and City Hall. I knew I read it somewhere, I just couldn't recall. They weigh 73 pounds, and I know we've talked about making sure things can't get moved around a whole lot, and so I don't think they're gonna get moved too often.
Does the anchor stencil go to round?
Or maybe the ship wheel?
I was just asked that.
I think it's a very nice upgrade, very nice.
It'll be nice. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, we will submit that application as well. Next, we have our accounts payable. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make the motion.
Oh, I have a H, I forgot. I buried it. I'm sorry. This is the agenda item that we added at the beginning of our meeting, and this is to temporarily waive credit card, debit card, and e-check fees for utility bills. May I have a motion, please?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the temporary waiver of the credit card, debit card, and e-check fees for utility bills for the length of this health crisis.
Support.
With not having our city hall closed to the public like this is just one more way we can assist our residents and make it easier for them to take care of their bills here. And not have to incur that extra cost when many of them would be coming in to pay for them in person.
And don't forget outside, we do have a drop box to offer checks or money orders, and you can also mail them. I know that's a little quaint and old fashioned, but that works too. The city would have it the next day because we'll keep them at the post office and we'll bring them straight over. But this is a good sound idea. It gets people used to the credit card thing. That's where society's going nowadays, more electronic, and every little bit helps.
If you want to use that, I went on and just tried to see what it was like, because I normally don't pay our water bill that way, but I wanted to see how the process worked. It was very easy, but if there are dashes in your account number, you put the dashes in. I know a lot of places it says don't put dashes or slashes in. You do, you put the dashes in along with the letters and the numbers for your account, and it was a very easy process.
If somebody's trying to do this and they're having a little bit of difficulty, would it be okay if they called up the city and said, walk me through it, please?
Absolutely.
All right, any other questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, our debit card, credit card, e-check fees are being waived as of now. Now let's pay our bills. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make the motion to approve accounts payable and payroll in the amount of $292,141.49 as presented.
Support.
Any discussion? Question? Roll call, please.
Mr. Scarback?
Yes.
Mayor Stoneburner?
Yes.
Mr. Bembas?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
Mr. Gillis?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mrs. Meldrum?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, and, next, items on our next agenda, Mrs. Gerstenberg.
Thank you, Mayor Stoneburner. We will have the annual ordinance supplement for council approval, our budget presentation, the award of the grass cutting contract, as well as the award of the contract for audit services. We have been asked to approve the Blue Ways of St. Clair strategic plan, and we will be looking to sell our one of our DPW dump trucks. Excuse me 1 second.
All right.
Smell it again. It says coffee. Oh, are you there?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
Must be making
All right,
And that's all the items.
all right. Council comments, Councilman Martin.
I've been thinking, you know, I'm one of those vulnerable people on this coronavirus. And I've been watching, I've been listening, and you can hear conservative opinions, you can hear liberal opinions, you can hear Republican, Democrat, and what I think we all need to do is, if we want good information, make sure you pay attention to the Center for Disease Control and the World Health Organization. Pay good attention to those, and then try to sort it out and follow all the rules we're given. That's it.
All right, Councilman Scarpick.
I'm gonna take a pass for tonight, but I wanna say thank you guys for all listening and have a good week.
Councilwoman Meldrum, I forgot you, I'm sorry.
Yes, I'd just like to tell everybody to stay safe, stay healthy, and don't be stingy, share the toilet paper.
Councilman Blair.
First, I'd like to give a big shout out for CC, which is our Citizen of the Year, if you will. Kathy Doan, it's your birthday today. She just turned 32. Happy birthday. Second off, I want to piggyback on what Councilman Martin said, and I don't want everybody panicking out there. Our citizens in Algonac, please understand this is not something, of course, to take lightly, but it's like any other virus or flu. We need to be smart and just keep normal cleanliness practices of washing our hands. I believe that the media's got this just a little bit blown out, in my opinion, so I don't want everybody getting crazy. Do your due diligence, as Councilman Martin said, please do your due diligence, and be smart, and let's look out for each other. This is now the time where we now have bars and restaurants that are closed in this community that offer a lot for us, but they are now open. You can do a carryout, you can call there. We need to still patronize these places if we can, because they still have payroll to make. They still have a business to operate and keep open. So if you can remember, I don't know if there's a list available of the restaurants in the Algonac area that are gonna be open, that'll still be serving, Denise. I don't know if we can put that on a website that can possibly show the restaurants in Algonac that are gonna be open for carryout only. But let's also see if we can patronize our local restaurants in this time of need, and just look out for everybody. That's what we do here in the city of Algonac. We look out for each other. And that's all I have, and thanks for listening, everybody. Have a great night.
Mayor Pro Tem Gillis.
I would just like to concur with what Mr. Councilman Blair and Councilman Martin said. And I think if people need help, reach out to your neighbors, email me if you don't wanna go out and get something. You know, I'm sure the rest of the council, we'll work together as a community to make sure that we get through this together. We went through one heck of a year last year, and we're starting off one heck of a year this year. But I think we'll get through it together.
Councilman Bembas.
Ray Martin's absolutely correct. Get your data from good sources. The census says, the last data from the U.S. government says that the average age of Michigan is 40. The average age, which means half of we are an older community. And, I had this on here in electronics. The CDC's, Center for Disease Control, says 81% of the cases are mild, okay? Most are mild. Where the concern comes in is for our senior citizens. People 70 and over who catch it have a 16% chance of fatality. We need to be careful around our senior citizens. People in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 0.02%. So we need to help our seniors, but if you have a cold, if you're sneezing, coughing, shortness of breath, fever, don't help the seniors. Stay away. You might be okay, but did you give it to somebody else? The deaths so far, average, when they take the age average, is people over 81. So let's watch our seniors. Help them, watch them. Stay away. We can help them if we want to bring groceries, put it on their doorstep, and try to keep away from our seniors. That's our most vulnerable age. I wish I could say something about some activity happening in the city like I usually do, but there isn't any. So we'll leave it at that, and let's just take care of each other. Thank you.
Well, there is something happening.
Oh, there is?
Yes.
Okay.
Several community leaders and organizations met today, and Superintendent Latos was there from the school, and on Thursday we'll begin meals for children under 18. If the child is under 26 years old, or the person is under 26 years old with an active IEP, they also can be included to get breakfasts and lunches. They will start passing them out between 11 and 1 on Thursday this week. And we may have some people that need help getting their meals. They may not be able to get to the high school to get them, but that's where they'll be distributing them. In that, when they get the meals, it will be for several days until they get the next one, and it will start regularly the following week, which would be a week from today. It'll be Tuesdays and Fridays then, and they will always have enough to get them to the next breakfasts and lunches for the child or children to get to the next drop, so that they may be looking for volunteers to help put meals together. They think they're pretty set at distributing them, but at the school. But we may need to tap in and start making some runs and drop those lunches off at the porch and not talk to people, so that they get them.
Is there a protocol for that people can sign up on a sign-up sheet, or how do they know?
I'll get you more information once it's getting organized,
Okay.
because it's very new, and as we all agreed, where we're at today is a whole lot different than where we were at on Thursday, and it's continually going to change. But we know we need to step up, and as Councilman Blair said, our community is really great at that. We're really great at helping one another. If you have somebody that lives alone, check on them, make sure they're all right, because sometimes that loneliness is really tough, even if it's just the phone call or whatever, to make sure everybody's all right. Because some people live alone and they aren't going to be able to get to the grocery store or go to church, because some of the churches have had to cancel their services and they're online, but you miss that community feeling. And I think it's really important that we still try to bring that, keep that, and try to help people that are really alone and have no one to turn to.
Mayor Stoneburner, I saw, I think it's Romeo that's doing it, and it's actually a neat idea. At 7 o'clock at night, they're asking everybody to go outside and just wave to their neighbors. From their porches. Yeah.
I've seen communities, they've got shamrocks all over, it's just something so that people can look at other people. So that's something that's going to be up and running, and starting Thursday, they will have meals for the kids.
And can they find this out on their city website?
It will be, I imagine, we can share that on our website, but it will be on the school's website and on their Facebook page. They said they will constantly put updates in. Also, our historical society and that had the Know Your Ship talk that's supposed to be coming up, and the Care Bag-a-thon, they're both postponed.
You know your what?
Know your ships. Ships. Yeah, clean your ears out. And Councilman Bembas talked about the census. Everybody got stuff. We're all stuck not having much to do. Fill it out. Put a stamp on it, mail it, do it online, whatever. Because the census does benefit our community. Those counts are used for federal grants, and the state looks at those numbers, and they look at the subgroups, the genders, ages, just age, race, everything, to give out grants to help our community. And we get, when they give out money, the more people we have that, or any community has, you want it to be accurate. And just say, I don't need to do it, it doesn't mean anything. It will. I know the estimate in Detroit, which of course is a little bit bigger than we are, the mayor said they lost 300,000 people they know in the last census that could have been counted and never got counted. So you got time. Somebody in your household should have some time to be able to do this. So please fill that out. And it does eventually trickle down, and it does benefit our community. And with that, some things have to stay the same.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. We're adjourned. I think they used to, is that yours, Denise? Yeah. Oh, yeah, they'll use them, okay.
As of right now,